This tale begins and ends with a four-leaved clover, which I found pressed between some old papers in a drawer at a jumble sale. The papers, like the clover, were old and decrepit and almost falling apart. But it was the clover which sparked my curiosity. It reminded me of my late grandmother, who had a special knack for finding four-leaved clovers. She kept them pressed between the leaves of books, where they dried out and were thus preserved. A hidden wish in waiting of luck and good fortune for whosoever happened to open the book. In any case, the four-leaved clover made me look more closely at the papers. They turned out to be letters from a man to his younger sister Sina, who had also scribbled little notes about her brother. The papers were worn and tended to fall apart at the touch. There were also huge holes in the narrative. However, the portrait of a man, a life and a fate slowly took shape to beguile and fascinate me. Not only the historical perspective, but also the man's life force, his will to carry on, regardless of the many hardships he encountered. The last letter was dated 1924, Duluth, Minnesota, and contained a four-leaved clover, which is why this story begins and ends with the pressed and faded leaves of this symbol of luck and good fortune. He was born on April the 19th in the year of our Lord, 1892, in the village of Collimorton, just north of Vejle, in the Kingdom of Denmark. He was baptized Daniel Olsen. His parents were poor, the mother a local girl, the father a migrant worker from Sweden who had settled in the area. They had a small holding, and the Swede supplemented this by hiring himself out as a day labourer. It was a daily struggle to make ends meet. Poor circumstances notwithstanding, theirs was a home filled with love and warmth. A sister was born a few years later, but soon harsh reality intruded on their lives. The young girl took sick and died at the age of 2. Shortly after, the Swede fell from a roof and was seriously injured. From his sickbed, the father told his son that, while he could believe in God, he should never trust him. Nothing in this life could be taken for granted. His final words on the matter were, "Always remember, son, you were born under the sign of the ant." He died of his injuries shortly after.